Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Hey all, looking like shit Cappy here, because there's been no time to dress up. I haven't even shaved it. I look like crap. I look like fucking Reverend. Anyway, a young man, does he want to be anonymous? What is it? Adam writes. Hey Captain, I was hoping you could make a video to give me a boot out of the slump I feel like I'm in. A few weeks ago I started talking with a girl from Tinder. We texted back and forth for a week or so before we finally met up. Before we met face to face, she asked how tall I was, to which I truthfully answered that I'm 5'6". She never commented, so I assumed she didn't care. I never asked her about her height because I really don't give a damn. However, when we finally met in person, it was a different story. As she approached, I could tell from a distance that she was equal in height, or at most an inch or two taller. She's maybe 5'8". If you could have seen the look she gave me once I stood up to greet her, you'd think I just threw a box full of puppies into a wood chipper. I knew right then and there that this date was doomed, but like a dumbass, I decided to power through it. Yeah, once it's done, just walk out, man. Say, I'm sorry, I got, give them the excuses they give us. Oh, my friend just called and she broke up with her boyfriend and needs me now. Are they still using that line nowadays? That was the one that was very popular in the late 80s and the early 90s. I even joked about how I should have worn my heels. That's a pretty classy, that's clever, that's good. That's not too bad. We got to our table and ordered some ice cream, of which she only ate 3 bites. Oh, what a cunt. What just a rude woman. Just rude, I did my best to make conversation and crack jokes, trying to at least have some fun, but she was just too much of a bitch to do that. Good, all right, at least you realize she's a bitch. I mean, come on, you meet somebody and they're not as tall and whatever, and by honest mistake. I will not tolerate, though, like when women say they're this and they use an old picture. Yeah, same thing with guys. If you lied about your height, or you take an old picture of yourself when you were good looking, that's wasting people's time, and people should get angry. But you didn't lie, so there's something wrong with this gal. So I regretfully paid the bill. Nearly 30 minutes later, we said our goodbyes. Later, she texted me and said she just couldn't see us going any further without giving any reason why. I can only assume it was because of my shortness, though. Of course, absolutely. I tried hard not to let it get to me, but I'd be lying to say if I didn't. Friends, family, and coworkers have all ribbed on me for being short, and that's never bothered me. That's because they like you. I forced myself into talking and trying to talk with other girls, but honestly, I just have no desire to interact with them after that. Any advice you could give me would be greatly appreciated. Well, okay, after this, you had a bad experience. Like I eat Chinese food and then I get stomach flu or stomach sickness, food poisoning. The very next day, I'm not going to go and get Chinese food. I might stay back from Chipotle a little bit, all right? It might be a little bit. So there's nothing wrong with you having no desire to go and interact. Now, how long ago was this? A week or so ago. All right, so yeah, I mean, you put your hand on the table, gets hit by a hammer, you're like, well, maybe you're not going to put your hand on the table again. So don't worry about that. You just need a little bit of recoup time. And when you say I try hard not to let it get to me, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't. And here's where you got to realize this is not your fault, and what is and is not in your control. You did everything that you could have done right. You told her the truth. You didn't want to waste your time as much as you didn't want to waste hers, so you're honest. Say, hey, I'm 5'6", and the person with the problem is the girl. You've done everything right. You did everything you could. You played your cards the best way you could, and instead of saying good job, this girl was just cold and mean. Now, you should not be feeling bad. Now, I know that's hard to say because we're not 100% logical creatures. Even men have this unfortunate part of the brain where emotion comes into it parts of the time. But when you become a master like me, emotions doesn't really bother you that much anymore. It kind of becomes a twinge. You're like, what was that? Nah, give me another. So, after a while, you'll get how old are you now? I'm presuming you're younger than me. After a while, and this is why it's always good to get your ass shot down, because you become inured to it. You build up a callus, and on top of it, you really start to understand that you do the best you can, you put yourself in a great light, you work out, you stay in shape, you become a devastating personality, you try and sell that to a girl, and you're honest on top of it, and if the girl shoots you down, it doesn't bother you that much anymore because you're the best you could be. You cannot be any better than what you were. So this is why I always advocate for every man, and why I'm very much against the virgin tales, because they never put their best foot forward. They never did their best. They never tried their best. And then it provides them too convenient of an excuse. Well, all women are cunts. You were honest, you showed up on time, you got your game together. So now it is without a doubt, this woman is the one that has the problem. And what you got to realize logically, even though it may not take the emotion away, but the more and more you think about this logically, the less and less the emotions will start to bother you. You'll start to realize that you had nothing to disagree. Why are you upset? You should be angry. You shouldn't be upset or sad. You should be angry at this woman for being so impolite. Of course, not every 100% of dates are going to lead to marriage. Of course not. All right, but this girl could have at least been civil. In other words, but then she treated you very poorly, and now you're feeling bad because what? An evil person treated you poorly. If an evil person treated you good, wouldn't you be a little worried? If Hillary Clinton wanted to be your BFF, wouldn't you be a little bit concerned there? So you should view, not like in a fake way, but kind of view this as a badge of honor. That this woman was rude to you when you did your best. Because now you know. Now she's gone and you didn't want to be hooked up with that anyway. But also don't take it personally when it's them that has the problem. I mean, also don't fall into the pitfall where everybody else has the problem and you're perfect. You don't want to do it. Again, why you have to be in shape, put your best foot forward, be honest, and present a good man to these women. So try and think that one through. Like, you did everything right. There's nothing more you could have done. You were polite. You even went the extra mile to make it kind of funny, and she was still a cold-hearted bitch. Do not take that personally. Take every bit of sadness you have, every bit of calorie of energy you're worrying about and feeling bad about yourself, and turn it into hatred for that person. All right? But then going forward, here's the problem with short guys. But it's logic, and I know a lot of short, because I'm shorter, I'm 5'9", although some people say I'm 5'8", but anyway, I'm shorter. You don't control that. You don't. I mean, you could do the Gattaca thing, you could extend your leg length, or you could go up into astronaut on outer space for a year, and I guess the guy who did that, like, he grew 2 inches. But that's not under your control. It is the most important thing, and this is a lesson for short men to learn, and that is you have to accept what is and is not under your control. And your height is not under your control, and therefore any rejection or the disproportionate amount of rejection you get from women over your height should not be taken personally. I know it's really hard not to take it personally because the act of trying to interact, date, and court women is obviously by nature a personal one, an emotional one, but women are not judging you on emotion or personality or anything. They're judging you on Darwinistics. They're not even consciously judging you. They're just like, short guy can't protect me from saber-toothed bears and raiding parties. He can't protect the children. That's what it is. They're not even thinking. It's like when you see a fat woman. Now the difference though is this. Whereas fat women, which everyone says short men are the fat women of the opposite sex world, fat women choose to be fat. And now you cunts are going to say, you have a thyroid problem right there. Right fucking hot. There's another one. Oh, look. If I had another digit, I'd show you too. But anyway, just want to tell you girls right there, shut the fuck up. Weight is under everybody's control. Most people, unless you're like the 1% that has a thyroid issue. And this is where the hypocrisy comes, because you don't control your height. But at least be a good man, an honorable or intellectually honest man, and say, I understand women don't like me because I'm short. And don't get angry at women for not liking you because you're short, because they just don't. It's genetics. They just don't like it. It's just like men don't like fat women. Except whereas women will get pissed off, I think men go the extra mile. Short men go we maybe hold ourselves to a higher standard. We don't, well, some do. I can't say that. A higher percentage of men who are short do not complain. They accept it and they understand. A much higher percentage of women bitch and whine and think there's something wrong with men because they don't want to nail fat chicks. So there's a bit of honor. Please have the honor and self-respect to say, no, I understand. Women don't want to date short guys. I got to deal with that. But do not become one of these guys. Women are just as bigoted as men. They don't like short guys, period. So, going forward, what you have to do, you gotta find short women. It's just, I would almost say, save yourself the time. Don't even certainly don't turn down tall girls. I hate to say it, I think, gosh, damn only, I want to say half the women I've dated have been taller than me. I think a lot of it, though, happens to be because of salsa dancing. I always wore heels. I've never really had problems with women that were taller than me. Heck, my girlfriend's taller than me. So that's never really bothered me. But I'm kind of average height, lower side of average height. But see if it can't, if you can get to that, I don't care, become charismatic, whatever, do whatever the fuck I did. I don't know what the fuck I was doing, but I did something. I ended up dating a lot of tall girls. But going forward, just accept they don't want to date short guys. Target your searches towards shorter women. Find out what the height requirements are. Say, hey, what's your height requirement? Because I'm not going to fucking waste my time. I'm 5'6", and at least that front honesty will save you and them time. It will save you, not the embarrassment. You did not go through embarrassment. What you did was galvanizing and ballsy here. But it will save you at least the time of not wasting her time or your time as well. Maybe look at Asian gals, Latinas, something like that. But yeah, man, it's just, that's the way of the world. It's the hands you've been dealt. It's whether you're going to let it bother you and fret over something that's outside of your control, or just accept, say, okay, here we go. We're still going to do our best. But whatever you do, don't get angry that this is, I know a lot of women who are taller and they won't date shorter men, but they're not this rude. They are not this rude. They just, I'm sorry, I have my sets, I have my heights and my requirements. But this just sounds like a very mean and cruel person. Someone that I would not let have you waste another second of your life worrying about this incident. But learn some lessons. And for all the short guys out there, just aim, don't aim high, aim low. And again, if a tall gal comes along and wants to bang you, I highly recommend you say yes. It's fun. And you don't want to be heightist, do you? You don't want to be like the women who are discriminating against height, do you? No. Tall girls, short girls, skinny girls, girls who climb rocks. Just no fat chicks. Anyway, best of luck. Toodles.